RoadflyTV.com, the internet's best resource for buyers, sellers, and owners like you.
Hi, I'm Ross Rappaport with RoadflyTV.com. Thanks for watching this episode of RoadflyTV. Today you're going to see me get on a bandwagon behind the all-new Chevrolet Cruze. The Cruze is GM's latest and maybe best ever contender in the compact car battle. And this particular one is what I think is the most interesting Cruze available. It's called the ECO, and it's a fuel-sipping specialist. I'll get right to the heart of the ECO. It's a 1.4-liter inline four-cylinder with a small turbo attached to help it make 138 horsepower and 148 pound-feet of torque. Now that may not sound like much, but remember it's out of just 1.4 liters, bringing this car close to that 100 horsepower per liter threshold usually crossed by much sportier machinery. Even more impressive is the fuel economy. An EPA-rated 28 miles per gallon in the city and 42 on the highway. This car comes in 6-speed manual or 6-speed automatic. The manual is going to be better on gas and better in a straight line. I'm happy to report that Chevrolet sent us the 6-speed manual, and I'm surprised to report that I had fun as soon as I got in this car, and that I'm going to be sad to give it back. You may be thinking, why, Ross? How can you possibly be satisfied with 138 horsepower in a 3,000-pound car after driving BMWs and Porsches? And I was surprised too, honestly, but this is just one of those cars that makes the most of what it has and comes out as way more than the sum of its parts. It is a fuel-sipping specialist, as I've said, so the gears are pretty widely spaced. But all that aside, it still manages to scoot to 60 in less than 9 seconds, which, although not fast, is enough to make the car feel responsive. Widely spaced gear ratios aside, this car is an extremely willing participant in spirited driving. It's lighter than a standard Cruze, and it's also lower because it borrows the springs from that car's optional sports suspension. So those measures were undertaken to improve fuel efficiency, but they definitely up the fun factor as well. The Cruze has a torsion beam rear suspension, which is a bit less sophisticated than the multi-link unit found on the Honda Civic. And the OEM tires are pretty squishy and howl like a pack of hungry dogs when you corner too quickly. But those shortcomings cannot hide a brilliant chassis. I felt the same way when driving the Volt, which is actually based on this car, which is, this platform could be amazing if Chevrolet decided to go ahead and do a full-on performance version of it. You can heel-toe downshift, you can fully disable the stability control, and this car actually at city speeds has better turn-in than a couple of sports cars I've tested recently. What's not to like? Alright, so the Cruze offers enough driving excitement for somebody like me on his daily commute. But what about the rest of the car? The interior is good on paper and in the flesh, offering 95 cubic feet of passenger volume, which beats out the Civic, Toyota Corolla, and the Ford Focus. Trunk space tops all three of those cars as well at 15.4 cubic feet. The iPod connector is in the center armrest, like it should be, and the door handle pulls are sealed at the bottom. There's also a giant cup holder in each of the front doors. By now, you probably know about my affinity for cup holders and storage, and the Cruze definitely did not disappoint. The conventional handbrake location cramps storage between the seats a little bit compared with, let's say, a Honda Civic, but Chevrolet made the best of it and gave me enough rubberized cubby holes to store all of my carry-on items. In terms of interior design, it's clear that Chevrolet has taken aim at Audi, the industry's clear leader in that department, even down to the ignition key or the font on some of the buttons. The buttons and switches are handsome with a high-quality look and feel, and this car is absolutely miles ahead of any Chevrolet I've tested in terms of overall interior quality. The only thing that's a bit polarizing is this mesh material on the dash, but I personally don't mind it at all. It's really tough to find bad things to say about this car, and in the end, I had to nitpick, like, this armrest is too short, or these chrome wheels don't quite fit with the rest of the car. And anything I disliked was either an easy design fix by Chevrolet, or something that an owner could easily remedy via the aftermarket. So I think Chevrolet's got a real winner on its hands here. And if you're looking for something that's fun, frugal, and stylish, you would be crazy to not look at this car, especially since our test car stickers for around $19,500. I'm Ross Rappaport. Thanks for watching this episode of RoadflyTV. You can find more pictures of the Cruze and a downloadable window sticker at RoadflyTV.com. Please comment on our videos, subscribe to our channel, and find me on Facebook. I'd love to hear from you.
Roadfly.com, the internet's best resource for buyers, sellers, and owners like you.